Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 4 of Magic and Mayhem. Now, I've got something to explain here. I went ahead and distributed my attributes accordingly. I brought myself another lawful talisman and boosted my mana up a bit more, simply because that the next ingredient that we had, as you know, was the clover. And what this can do is it'll summon one of three beasts. The skeleton, which is what you've seen before, an undead skeleton that has a sword and shield. Relatively good attack, but very weak and can only sustain a couple of attacks. A basilisk, which is very weak and has a very weak attack. However, it inflicts a poison effect on any sort of enemy it comes into contact with and attacks. But again, it's not too worth it, because if the opposing person heals, the poison effect will only last for so long anyway, so it's not a permanent effect. But what we really want is, as you can see here, the unicorn. The unicorn is especially good for taking on undead. Now, we've known a couple of other things as well. In this map as well, we're going to go against a hellhound, which are no joke. They are really ruthless. They pretty much have a huge amount of magic resist, so trying to cast spells on them or anything like that will fail. They have a vision effect that causes their prey to be paralyzed, whilst they end up chewing on them and attacking them. They have a very lot of health. Their combat's pretty good as well. Not that great against undead, but they don't need to be. And they're never afraid, so that you can't use any spells to fear them or anything like that. And their speed is quite harsh as well. So this is what we're presented going against, but for the most part, we're using our unicorn, which is again quite expensive, but it has a lot of health. Its combat is pretty good. Against undead, more specifically, is even better. It has a higher rate of critical hit chances. But the best thing about it is it's really fast, and it has, well, pretty much just a lot of magic resist as well. So it can fend off against negative spells as such. So it's really good. And what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to try and create, well, we're going to try and max out the proficiency of our unicorn into making him an exalted champion or a king. Now for this one, I'm afraid I'm going to have to do it on adapt, simply because on the wizard difficulty, I had to test this in order to make sure it was just a game, or if not anything else, or if it was just my luck. But either way, I played on this mission 3 times prior to this, and each time I lost, simply because the game's mechanics and difficulty is completely imbalanced. Like, I wasn't doing anything wrong, I wasn't failing myself in particularly, but the random generated storms were causing my allies to die way before I got to them. And in this mission, you cannot afford them to die, otherwise you will lose the mission. So the game was just pretty much being unfair, and it was just generating way too many storms at once at will, more than it needed to. And there was no way I could actually get to him in time. I don't think they properly tested this, but I'm afraid this is just completely above and beyond anything I'm used to. So at the moment, we're going to do an adapt, I'm afraid. But I will show you a version of Wizard and show you exactly what will happen, anyway, as an outtake. But for now, we're going to have to bite our tongue and just go back to adapt. I don't want to do this, I really hate it, but it is literally impossible to do this mission. Which is a danger and despair. He's letting me know that there's going to be a danger and despair around. We must seek the aid of the Brownie King, but go gently. They mistrust strangers. Words to live by. Anyway. What I'm hoping is that this will play a lot more nicer now. Otherwise, this is going to be much more difficult than it seems to be. And there really isn't anything I can do about the difficulty. It's either my luck that I will be able to complete this with not having the Brownie King dying, or I will be endlessly replaying this until the game either I get lucky, or I just have to narrow it down to an even easier or a more or less difficult setting, and I really don't want to do that. I'm not really a veteran on this, as if you've watched my previous episodes, clearly I'm not. But you really at this point of the stage, you really can't do anything about it. And as you can see, we've got our champion horse now, our champion unicorn, more specifically. I wish he would do more damage. There we go. So now, what we're having him to do is that we're going to level him up even more. It's best to do this one at a time. I've got plenty of magic to heal him if in case we need to. But for the most part, I didn't realize actually that you will use less magic when you're on a... So I'm guessing that when you're on a higher difficulty, you tend to use more magic. Oh no, that's right. The more enemies you defeat, you actually get mana back. I didn't realize that. Completely forgot. So ignore that quip about the magic resist. Magic never getting back. Ah, I hit him. Wow. 2 hits. See, when they level up, all their stats go up as well. Their health, their damage resistance, their critical hit chance. And look at that. Within 2 hits, he's down. And zombies have got the most defense out of one of the most annoying enemies to go against, since they've got really high defense. Because this has a really good chance against undead, it will be much easier to go against them. So this is why, more specifically, that we are using this. Okay, now we're going to go and get the Mana Sprite. And I'm going to get attacked by the Brownie, but we ask him to halt because we want to speak to their king. This wizard is no emissary of Lutheran. Guards, cease fire, let the stranger approach. Great. We've spoken to him, and now that we've allied with him, we can also see the rest of his village, simply because we are all allies of him now. Okay, great. Let's save it, just to make sure. Seems everything's going well so far, but I'm not leaving anything to chance. Greetings, stranger. I am Twinkindle, king of the brownies, keeper of nature's law. Welcome to my kingdom. Cornelius, your servant, sire. I seek a mage named Lucan. Did he pass through this village? I cannot say. We have not left the protection of our stockades since Lutheran came to these parts. I sense some terrible blight has befallen your realm. You see, truly, wizard, the evil Lutheran has worn us down to mere pebbles and dust. The villagers who once venerated life are now violated in death, raised from the dead to serve his hateful cause. I am afraid the night closes in. Yet you bring hope, like the first rays of spring sunlight. Will you aid us, Cornelius? Evil cannot be endured. It must be faced and fought. This Lutheran will repent, I swear it. Our gratitude goes with you, but this is short. But time is short. Apologies. Lutheran will return soon. We will stand our ground, but you must explore the village. You may find a special artifact in a chest somewhere. It is known as a camping form. A camping phone bell. One ring will stop the undead in their tracks. Yes. So a camping form is basically... Ah, here we are. Lutheron. With a really messed up eye. What fool is this who would ally himself with my enemies? Seek him out, Irvang, and feast upon his bones. Gladly, master. I sicken of brownie flesh, and crave the taste of human blood. Excuse my voice acting, it's very terrible, but hey, I'm trying to add immersion to the game. What of it? So this is Irvang, and what you've seen in the grimoire, he's the Hellhound. Now thankfully there's only one on this level, but he is not to be messed around with. He is quite powerful, and he doesn't class himself as an undead, but a chaos creature. Ah, so this is exactly what my illustration pointed out. Random thunderstorms that the enemy itself is not generating. It pretty much just happens. But what would happen is... No, just go there. Yes. But instead of this, thankfully it's not generating all around with a twinkle into his head, because every time I started this on wizard difficulty, it seemed to want to kill him. And everyone is affected by this thunderstorm. It doesn't... It's not scripted to miss you or miss anything like that. No, it'll hit you when it... from when it wants to. Wow, we're on hit. Oh great, and we got him a king! Yes, perfect. Look how much damage we're doing to it. Now trust me, this is not based on any luck or anything like that. He's not weak at all. I mean look, 2 hits and he's already got me down to 1/3 of my health. He's really strong, and he's not to be... Oh my god, he's gonna blow! Yeah. The nasty side effect. Actually didn't mean to heal myself 3 times, but I did, so there it goes. Ah! Oh, perfect. We're actually gonna have him... Yes, well, there you go. As you can see, the fire spreads as far as it can whenever lightning's been struck or any sort of flame effect has been happening. We need to make sure we defend Twinkindle. He cannot die or we lose this mission. Oh, and another random thunderstorm decides to appear. But again, I'm eternally grateful that it's not happening over Twinkindle's head, because this is what it would do. It would just automatically make you lose this match. Now I just wasted all of my mana, but thankfully... we need to have him... I think we're going to have them both here, because we can't afford to give up that place of power. But things seem to be going our way now, at least. I say our way for the most part. Just need a real bad luck for another thunderstorm being dropping on our heads, I suppose. This game really wasn't balanced well when they wanted to introduce difficulty levels. It pretty much meant environment will screw you over as well, which was completely unfair and does not need to have happen. Okay, let's not have you die. I'm just getting attacked by a wraith. Really weak creatures, but they are annoying considering that you can only see them when they are visible. You can only see them when they're attacking you, sorry. I'm having this unicorn come with me, because we need to find Lutheron. Oh, never mind. He's already here. So let's go face him. No, he's not getting any magic for free. We're going to stop that. No. Damnation. You may have won the battle, but my revenge will be all the sweeter for it. Okay, so he's disappeared. And he's actually teleported away. Our blessings go with you, Cornelius. Hope flowers once more. Now seek out the knight Percival in Apple Tree Orchard. He will surely aid you in your quest. Be vigilant, Windkindle. I fear we have not seen the last of Lutheron. No, we haven't. But thankfully, we've actually completed this level for the most part. Now, before we go, because as you noticed in the experience part, well, for the attributes, sorry, the achievements that we needed to have done, we haven't completed all of them yet. What we were going to do, before Lutheron decided to just come waddling around the village and decided to make me kill him before I managed to get close to him, is we didn't get to show this part, but hey. So here is a scroll of information that I told you about in the previous part. Now, the problem with this is that once you view it, it decides for some reason it will crash your game, and this was not very well optimized since Windows XP, and it still is occurring this today. So if I read out the message, and hopefully you'll be able to see it before it cuts off, hopefully nothing bad will happen, but you'll see exactly what I mean. And there you have it. So it says sacrificial altar. To offer a sacrifice, slay a creature on the altar, and the Grail Knights will revenge all the transgressors. Hey guys, sorry for the brief delay. I seem to have had my game crashed as soon as I picked up the scroll, as I knew it would. Thankfully, I actually messed around with the game files, and now I can actually do it so it won't crash. So this is going to be a little bit easier, and I keep saying so apologies for that, but I'm actually quite chuffed that I never found out about it before. But yes, basically what this will say is a sacrificial altar. Basically, to offer a sacrifice, slay a creature on the altar, and the Grail Knights will revenge the transgressors. So basically, what this means is this is a little altar here, and this is really cool. Basically, you summon a creature of your own, and then you have to kill it. Let's just go in there, take care of whatever monsters are now awake. But pretty much... didn't work. So, he's dead, and now we have the Grail Knights, which are pretty much 6 skeletons with Bloodlust, an extra attribute spell that they are infused with, permanent Bloodlust, that gives them massive amounts of attack damage. Hail Wizard, we are the enduring spirits of the One's mighty Grail Knights. Whatever your quest, we'll serve your cause. To glory and the grave. A bit of a shame that we can't actually use these now, because they would have been very handy. We don't need to worry about a unicorn because He's pretty much got this sorted for himself. And that's our maximum amount of points. It would have been very nice to use these potentially with the rest of the fighting that could have gone along with it. But as you can see, not too obvious difficulty. Because the wizard difficulty, I found out all it does is spawn out random lightning storms. But thankfully, the amount of mobs and creatures you have to go against is still relatively the same, so it's not missing out on anything. And I see the fire is still spreading from the lightning storm that happened quite a while ago. Wow. It just wasn't worth keeping on the thunderstorm, the wizard difficulty whenever I tried to do this level, because it would just cause Twin Kindle to die, and it just annoyed me to no end. But here you have it. My favorite level, I personally think, is finished. And we have the maximum amount of experience points. We've achieved everything. We allied with Twin Kindle, found the Campton Phone Bell, killed Urfang, defeated Lutheron, and summoned the Grail Knights. That is fantastic. My wizard rating has gone down, but I don't care, because that mission can pretty much screw itself. I really hate it to be submitted to that, but thankfully its sequel is a lot more balanced, and you can pretty much complete that whole game if you know what you're doing with the hardest difficulty. But when I say know what you're doing, is that you really have to know what you're doing. You have to know how many different ways to beat up levels in order to progress through. But anyway, we've beaten the level, and we are now going on to our next one, Apple Tree Orchard. So I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. I really cannot believe what's going on right now. They're focusing all on the one thing. It's quite annoying.